Warm welcome back to the Ref Show. Lots of unfinished business. I think any performer would probably tell you that it's not making a mistake that counts, it's how you react to making that mistake. Would you not agree with that, members of the panel?
Having made many mistakes, yeah, I would agree.
And a former referee?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Anthony Taylor. Okay, a week ago in this studio, we had to hit him with a fair bit of stick for an unprecedented error in the Sheffield Wednesday Leeds game, the goal that he had to disallow because he allowed a free kick to be taken while the substitution was in process. We've gone through all of that. Now then, during your time as PGMOL General Manager, you were known to take referees out of the firing line, drop them, for want of a better word, after a high-profile error. That didn't happen with Anthony Taylor. Sometimes it has been known, but he went straight back out. What would you have done in this instance? Was there a case for removing him from the firing line? If there was, it would have backfired because he's had
Well,
two
you
great
wouldn't have
games
backfired because you wouldn't have known.
You wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known, but...
I think on the if we go back to the Sheffield Wednesday incident, he corrected his error. He was helped enormously by, if you remember, Jeff Eltringham, the fourth official, who came in and did a brilliant job. I know Anthony Taylor quite well, and I also know that he's one of my key referees. And therefore, generally, I would put them out to rest, and I would have a conversation and say to him, look, I'm not putting you out next week. And that would have been my approach.
So you admit you would have taken him out?
Yes,
Anthony
I would.
Taylor.
Yeah. And in fairness to Mike Riley, that's not Mike Riley's style. I think, given my style, by the way, it was, I've done it and that's it. It's over with. It doesn't go on any further. So there's no vindictiveness about it. It's actually aimed at assisting the referee, taking him out the glare of the media that I never had to put up with, really, in the modern game. Mike Riley, I think, is difficult. But on this occasion, he's gone straight in, he's reappointed him. Credit to Mike on that one. And Anthony Taylor has delivered. And I think it's fabulous for him because, one, I'm sure he's recognised he made a mistake. He'll never make that mistake again, ever. And he comes back from comments that we've made and the media have made and produces two really first-class performances.
First of all, he's already on the team sheet for that FA Cup tie, isn't he, at Leicester Spurs. Yeah. Televised game, big game, referees it superbly. And, you know, and that's really would have cleared it mentally from
I think that's a situation, no, if you'd have taken him out of that situation because of the mistake against Leeds, would that have helped him as much as getting back in the fire? Mm. You know, and he's come out and proved that Mike made the right decision to let him carry on in that situation.
It wasn't Mike Riley's decision on the FA Cup replay because that was decided elsewhere. But it was Mike Riley's decision to keep him on in the Premier League at the weekend with Everton 1, Swansea 2. Andy Martin covered that on RefCam, gave Taylor high marks. So as a player, Hirsty, you know, you've had a nightmare. I know it never happened, but. You're selected immediately for the next game when you might.
Not always. Not always. No, but along with Anthony there, I mean, he makes a mistake in the Leeds game. You say, okay, throw him back in the next game. If he makes a mistake or doesn't have a great game, then I think it might be time to pull him out. Give him a chance to rectify himself as a referee, like I would want as a player. You've not had a great game on Saturday. We've got a game Tuesday night. I want to be playing to try and rectify what I did on Saturday. You know. Now, if I have another bad game on Tuesday, I would half expect the manager to be dropping me for Saturday.
If you have back-to-back.
Back-to-back, yeah. Now, some players would, or referees would get away with bad game, bad game, bad game. Well, that's gone at least a game too long.
Bottom line, well done, Anthony Taylor.
Brilliant.
He showed some character and temperament to do that.
Well, there's no doubt that he has blossomed this season as a referee. And I think UEFA have rightly recognised that. He had a Champions League game. He refereed it really well. And I think that, you know, there's a need for a referee to come through and be a top liner. And Anthony's fulfilling that role. Great credit to him.
Yeah. All good to see. Mark Clattenburg, again, according to RefCam and you guys watching, another accomplished performance in the Arsenal-Chelsea, the big game. He gets the big game, first of all.
Yes.
Chelsea win it 1-0. Although he is only human, and he proves he's only human, because I think you felt there should have been a penalty in that game.
Yeah, I think Fabregas was fouled in the penalty area. I think, in fairness, Mark had unusually moved towards the left-hand side of the box, looking through, and probably didn't have the view that he would normally have. Yeah. So he was caught out a little.
Was that a team error, though? Could he have been helped by
I think
assistant?
He could have been helped by his assistant, yeah, for sure. But I mean, the real, if you like, tough call was the denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity.
And this was the sending off. This was Mertesacker, wasn't it? Of
Yeah,
Arsenal's
yeah, sure.
Sent off quite correctly.
Yeah, I mean,
as it turns out.
It was a tough call, but he worked it well, as we mentioned earlier. You know, of giving himself a bit of time to get there, sort the situation out, and for me, producing the right colour card.
Okay, if we've got time before the end of the programme, we'll come back to this triple jeopardy thing where guys get sent off for that offence and then they're suspended for the next game, the rights and wrongs of that. Just quickly, UEFA finally, at last, have approved Goalline Technology for Euro 2016 and for the Champions League, which you applaud.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously being a champion of introducing Goalline Technology, it's good to see UEFA, after a number of years, having this nonsense of two guys behind having a holiday, really. I mean, I'm not convinced what Kalina says or anyone else says. I just talk to the guys who actually do it. And those guys tell me it's cold out there. And you know, and I don't have much to do.
They're spare parts.
I think they're spare parts, and if they're spare parts, and it seems an awful lot of money for no return. I think
that there is a job to be done if they're allowed to do a job there, but it doesn't seem as though they do a job. No. You know, you don't see too much input into the referee. Yeah. You know, they're just sort of there saying, "What are you going to say?" and I'll back you up. Yeah. Yeah. You know, whether it be a corner, goal kick, goal incident. They just seem to be there doing nothing, and this is the big problem that everybody that watches a game and understands the game are looking at it.
In fairness to and I'll defend it now. In fairness, the instruction that is given by UEFA to those guys behind the goal is to not make any sort of physical
so
comment.
Why be there?
Other than,
why be there?
No. How it's done. Remember that they're wired up.
Yeah.
So any reaction or action that they want doing is verbal.
So
apart from one, which was introduced this season, and that is they can point to the goal that the ball's gone over the line.
Right. Okay, and just to wrap up, let's just go back to denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, DOGSO for short, which you guys have introduced. Is it fair then, Hirsty, that the offender gets sent off? Obviously it's a free kick as well, or it's a penalty. And then the offender is also suspended for the next game. Is that right?
Well, I think it has to be. It has to be right. Because if you take any part of that away, it just makes it more common, the foul itself.
Keith has often felt this was too harsh. It's called triple jeopardy, and it's discussed regularly by the International Football Association Board. But they've not changed it.
I think that where I would like a change, probably don't agree with David, is that when the incident takes place inside the penalty area, you've got the player sent off. You've got, if you like, that denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and a greater chance in the box sometimes, replaced with a penalty kick. If the foul takes place outside the area, you're not replacing that real direct shot and goal. Although you have got forwards now who can score from distance. But so my view is that I think that the award of a penalty kick and, if necessary, a dismissal, right, would not require then if you like, a suspension. So
keep the red card, send the guy off. It's a bit like sin binning him, but don't suspend him.
When you're at this stage of the season where we talk about points make prizes, you know, you're going to get a lot of fouls and take the. If I'm not getting suspended for the next game, I'm going to make the foul because then I'm all right for next game. Right. You can send me off because I'm playing next game anyway. I'll pay me fine. Yeah. We save the game because it's only a free kick.
And it's late in the game, so you can do without me for 2 or 3 minutes, chaps.
Without a doubt. I'm gonna bring him down. The manager, if a centre forward's going through on goal, last minute in the game, to either get a draw or beat you,
So you're happy with
The
it?
coaching staff and the rest of the players sat on that dugout are saying, bring him down.
It's amazing, isn't
Don't
it?
let him get into the box, because that'll be a penalty, which is bring him down outside the box. We'll take down the 10 men for the last couple of minutes, all day long.
And of course, he used to be a striker, so he's not biased. He's in no way biased.
Okay, so what do you do if it's outside the box and it's denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity? Give a penalty there then. Then it's a bigger punishment. Now, if we're not sending him off, are we going to punish him with penalties from outside the box?
It's a great point.
It's a big can of worms.
I've always been someone who says, look, ideally, you want to finish the game with 22 players. Of course you do. Because we're in the entertainment business.
Chaps, this discussion's going to go on well into the night. We know you haven't got time for it, but we do know you've got time to rejoin us for the Ref Show next week. And don't forget, any views or talking points, anything you want to raise with the panel, do contact us at youaretheref.com. See you next week. Bye.